Do you want to do the introduction, Rich, since your last time?
Yeah, Rich.
Hey, man, I'll always do the introduction, man. I always like to fucking issues also. Welcome back to Brian's fucking Action Figures Reviews. This is the host, fucking Rich, so it should be technically called fucking Rich's Action Figures fucking Reviews. Here's my pals, my wrestling wives, fucking, we've got Tubbs, Tiny Man Tubbs, and got my Irish prick, fucking Hi. Fucking, how are you guys today?
We're good. And
Good,
folks, the reason I left Rich do it properly this time is Rich is going to be leaving us for a while.
Yeah.
Sad.
I've lost my smile, boys.
He's doing
Don't worry, buddy, alright? If Shawn Michaels can lose his, you can find yours, okay? You can find it again.
Rich needs to go find God, I think.
Don't go
You fucking
Don't go that far, Brian.
I hear he makes a great tag team partner.
Oh my God, Rich will come back in about 6 months' time with a buzz cut, man.
Well, yeah, seriously though, so Rich is taking some time out, and all jokes aside, we are going to miss you. So don't be too long away. And as
35 weeks, kid, you know.
As a bonus kind of thing, I know we always do older matches, but this week we're going to do NXT Super Tuesday, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor, which was a couple of months ago.
It wasn't even a couple of months ago, man.
No, fucking November.
Yes.
Because they had to do the fatal. They were part of the fatal 4-way Iron Man match, and it ended up being a draw with them two against Ciampa and Gargano. Yeah. They both got 2 pins each, so that's why they were like, fuck it, like we need another match, because obviously they had to fucking chop the belt. No one had the belt yet, so like we need a fucking winner. So because of that decision, like this match was created for these two guys.
Yeah.
So let's get straight into it. I haven't watched NXT in months, so I didn't know what was going on. I don't know the layout. First thing that drove me absolute batshit mental the whole way through the match was the banging on the wall. Or on the walls around the ring. It totally gave me a neural migraine from listening to it. Yeah, it fucking wrecked my head, and I couldn't focus properly watching the match. So
they've since changed it now to like a mesh. It's like a wire mesh fence. So it's like I don't know. It's a weird setup in there now. It looks completely different. But yeah, go on.
So Tubbs, tell us your opening thoughts on the match.
I had seen the match, like Rich, a little underwhelming on a second watch. And we'll get into it as we go along. And not to say the match was bad, just I don't know. There was a few things I was going to go, oh shit, I don't remember it being this. You know. I've seen both these guys in better matches against each other and with different people. But the one thing that did wreck my fucking head, Rich, I completely forgot about this, man, until I actually rewatched it, was the adverts.
It's what I spoke to you boys about last week.
My God, I forgot they were so fucking long.
They were 2.5 minutes long.
These weren't just like, but these weren't just like 30-second ads, man. This was like 5 minutes of solid ads. And you couldn't hear what was going on in the match or nothing.
Like, this is the thing, though, but you can't have those ads affect the fucking match.
Mm. And did you find it did?
No.
I found it spots, because even when they were doing the double 10 count, I found myself trying to watch like up here and trying to keep along with the count, and then I was getting distracted by what was going on over here.
So what I did, like, I pinged it onto my big telly, so like the actual match was still like at a good size,
relatively big,
and then just fucking like I've worked in places, man. I used to be one of the managers in Blockbusters, and we used to have a fucking DVD that got repeated from the second you open that store to the very end. So I can switch off. So basically, when those adverts came on, I just fucking switched off and just focused on the smaller screen kind of thing. But there was some cool shit happened during that, like you see, like when Balor kept throwing the fucking elbows into fucking Adam Cole's shoulder. Like, some folk were probably not being focused, like you're too busy watching like the burger on the other side of the fucking advert. Like I was focused on watching all that shit.
Do you know what it was like? I'm not even joking. It was like I I was watching the elbows, right? But every elbow that was thrown, I saw like mac and cheese on my fucking out my right eye, and I was seeing slaps being thrown. I was focused. I was focused, but I can, because it's been a long time since I've watched NXT live, like actually live, like stayed up to watch the shows and whatever else. Like most wrestling, I don't stay up to watch live much anymore. But Christ, is that on the live broadcast? Is that how they broadcast that show now? With those big ass adverts?
Well, like I often watch AEW live, and they do the same thing, and it fucking does my head in. So I was a little bit more used to it, but still I found the match very like sensory overload or something between the banging on the cages and the adverts and Beth Phoenix appearing out of nowhere every 10 minutes.
Can I ask you a question, Brian? Is this your first time watching NXT without like when I say without a live audience, obviously the people in the crowd are other wrestlers, whatever, filling up the space. But have you not watched NXT since like the pandemic?
Nope.
Oh, so you haven't seen any of the empty arena style just that's in it or anything like that?
Clips and stuff.
Yeah, YouTube stuff like.
Clips,
yeah. So Rich, this is your last show. Why don't you take it away, man?
Personally, like I've watched this match like 3 times now, and I enjoyed fucking this match all 3 times. To me, like this was like obviously because we're into the new year, so this was like, almost kind of because obviously last week we were talking about making that your Christmas special, so it was kind of like to me this was like one of the matches that like to me I really enjoyed out of 2020. Like I know a lot of folk are going to be like, well, AEW trying to be cool about AEW, but joking aside, AEW has put out so much fucking shit. I actually spoke to my pal Adam. Like he's a huge fucking wrestling fan as well. And me and him were talking about being like, and he was telling me like, obviously because I've stopped watching wrestling, so he was telling me what's happening now, and I was just like, oh my god, it's just like a fucking a soap, a man soap, really kind of thing. Like
wrestling's always been though.
It's just like creatively it goes nowhere. And it's very interesting that you have like all your were they all executive vice presidents or whatever they are,
Cody and Omega,
all strapped with belts now. Do we have a new NWO in WCW kind of like thing? You know, like are they like now pushing themselves over kind of?
They're treading water in some places. I will admit that.
I mean,
when it comes to the old school TNA book.
They didn't put out any good matches. I just don't watch Impact on like the main like WWE. Like nothing's there, and I haven't really watched any kind of indies and that. So like it was kind of like it was this, or it was going to be the War Games of this year because that was another phenomenal match. But I just thought like that. I think if I picked the War Games match, dudes, we would have been chatting for fucking ages because obviously a match like that, so much fucking happens, and I was like, yeah. Because what you got to remember is you got to wait for all 8 guys to be in the ring for it to finally fucking start. So you watch like 20 minutes of fucking 10 minutes of wrestling before even the match fucking starts, and then you got to
50 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was just like, I'll pick up more so much. And the reason I kind of went for this one, to me, this is modern classic wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like this is like to me, this would be like putting like your fucking like your Bret Hart, like a classic Bret Hart kind of a really good, like a Bret Hart Owen Hart kind of match, like a kind of classic technical good kind of style match, but with modern like kind of good wrestlers. Like Balor and Cole are 2 fucking great ones. And what was good about this was like the original best NXT champion, Balor, against the folk could argue like potential best NXT champion. Obviously, he had a what was Balor again? Like he was the original longest reigning champion, but then Adam Cole.
And Adam Cole knocked off the record.
Yeah, like he fucking destroyed that record. Like I think he destroyed. I think what was Balor 2 times, but now it became 3 times.
Yeah.
So even with Balor, he's 2-time champ. Like Adam Cole still beat his record with only being a champ once, kind of thing. So like, it was that kind of mystery. Who is the better wrestler? You know, like kind of that typical match. Obviously, predetermined. I say this one time for Tubbs, kind of thing. It's my last time for right now.
It's real to me, damn it.
Like, I still always think of Tubbs when I see that kind of meme. I always think that'll be fucking Tubbs. You're just going to see, like, I don't know, like, they say Finn Balor, like Finn Balor comes back to like Ireland like an old man, and Tubbs is going to be in that gym hall and be like, Balor, it's still real to me.
I know the inside tricks, man. I know what it's all about.
Like, to me, like, I felt like it was just like, here's two fucking dudes, and you knew they were going to put on a good fucking show, which I got. A couple of small botches, but I bring it back because it's my last show for a while. It was a fucking change on the camera angles kind of thing. But like, no, like I mean, I get reasons why like you're going to hate it. Like if you're trying not to review, make your scoring on the adverts, that's something that this match could not control.
Yeah.
That's not.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you mind me saying, like, I think that's because this shouldn't have been a TV match. It should have been a pay-per-view match.
Oh yeah,
that kills the adverts argument straight away.
The opening match as well.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure.
Can I ask you a question?
Was the Ripley and Forget Who She Was Wrestling cage match at the end?
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was pretty dope
as well. That was a pretty dope match. But can I ask you a question? After watching this match, rewatching it, and I only asked this because of the match we watched last week.
I think I know where you're going here.
Did you not see the similarities on the time difference? First 8 to 10 minutes of this match, it was all ground-based headlocks and armbars, which was very much what the first arc of last week's match was.
I thought they were very similar.
I thought this match was very much a mirror image of the Kurt Angle Shawn Michaels match in tone and story and what they were trying to prove.
But it was the better match. But it was mainly Balor trying to keep it to the mat.
What I mean in general though was it genuinely was like that. Balor was trying to keep it to the mat, kind of similar like Shawn Michaels trying to out wrestle Adam Cole. HBK did the same thing, and it genuinely, when I was watching it, I was kind of going, this is very similar to what we watched last week. Like, I know the match is completely different, obviously, and it's the styles and everything. But I just found the first 8 to 10 minutes very much seemed, and maybe it's just because we watched HBK Angle last week and it was still fresh in my head. But I was kind of going, Jesus Christ, this is very much mirror image. Like,
I wouldn't have said it was that long.
Oh no, I looked it up on a timestamp. It was 10:22 in total, with maybe a couple of moves thrown in here and there, but the majority of that timestamp.
But then you got to shave the intros and all that as well.
I'm sure. I mean, that was the same case with the last week's as well. If you count in intros and everything else, it was the 10-minute mark. Like,
I think there was a lot more variety in there, but it was pretty much the same idea.
There was. I'm not trying to say it was like, oh, it was the very same, but it just reminded me of last week's kind of like setup. The first,
I thought
it was like this match was kind of, it was just under 30 minutes with entrances, but it seemed like it had that similar 3-arc kind of build and design. And the first 8 to 10 minutes was very much similar to last week, and then it kind of ramped up. And once it ramped up, these guys went for each other. Like they really did land in. There were some stiff fucking shots in here. There was a running elbow off the rope, and Balor hit fucking Cole with, man. And I was going, oh my god, like he took his fucking head off with it. A couple of super kicks in here. But the biggest thing I did love in this match was, and I tell you straight out, was, I don't know, maybe I should keep this. You know what? Fuck it, Rich, it's your last show. Let's just ramble and fucking chat. Was the fact that two finishers that normally get these two guys over and are normally very protected in NXT were kicked out of. And it was no other commentary as well. I love that.
But that was a lie. No, the commentary was a lie. Joe and Owens in NXT have kicked out of it. Of Finn Balor's.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Okay, you can commentary for I knew you were going to fucking bring that up, and I
Brock did as well, I think.
Because I genuinely did. I actually thought it was a class moment. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
I don't think Brock kicked out of it. Brock actually reversed it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he did.
But those Joe and Owens have kicked out of it. But there's also the argument on who has and who hasn't kicked out of it, because there's folk who've kicked out of it when he's landed on the back of them. So folk are like, oh, that doesn't count. But we're talking about the classic where he lands on the fucking chest/stomach area, on the front body. That's when folk mainly don't kick out. But Owens and Joe have both kicked out from this version.
And
so you were lied to.
Fair, he really landed it in on Cole. Like he proper landed on him, which I just loved that move. But one thing about it was it always fucks his leg up. Do you ever notice that with Balor? He's always fucked. His leg is always wrecked if he goes for it more than once. Well. Yeah, but I mean, like, that was all part of the angle, wasn't it? Like, he kind of went for the knee, and then which I think played into one of Cole's later moments where he actually delivered a move and he got him from a small package, wasn't it? He rolled him up into a small package, went to get up, and he was trying to grab the knee, and then he got super kicked in the face, which he sold fantastically. I think that the two boys did great selling in this match as well.
So let's do, for the last time for Rich, positives and negatives. High spots and low spots, whatever you want to call it. So let's start with the negatives. Rich, you can go first. You got the honors.
I can say there was a camera angle, so Cole was in the corner and fucking Balor's fucking going for it and kicking him, right? And it's the last one where the referee's going like, no, to do the interference, being like, right, you've done it. And the camera just changes to when you see Balor going for the final stomp. But he just like go, obviously, if the camera hadn't changed, there was two things that could have happened to pull this off, right? If the camera didn't change, it would still look like he got stomped. If the referee had actually put his hand, say, on Balor to kind of like to pull him back a bit, to be like,
yeah,
would have blocked it.
So that was like a bit of a disappointment. To see Balor doing so much on the mat, like that kind of did like frustrate me at times, because you're so used to him as well. Don't get me wrong, like I am aware he's a mat wrestler as well, but like you want to see him doing like pretty much what he done the rest of the match, all his fast paced, his kicking, like his strikes, all that kind of stuff. That did kind of bum me out a bit. I thought the commentary, like, that pissed me off. Hey, it's fucking great to hear Barrett. Like I love a good wrestler being able to do some commentary, but like I feel like this was like NXT's I love NXT's commentary, but I just felt it was very weak. Here, like, Tubbs, you're a diehard wrestling fucking fan. I mean, if I was to fucking cut you open, and if WWE had a fucking color, you'd be bleeding it, kind of.
Not so much, man.
I almost imagine WWE. You're pumping your missus, you're calling her WWE at times, because that's how much you love WWE.
I wouldn't go that far now. Yeah, I get
wow.
That commentary was just fucking like, it was so disappointing. Like for you, like say you were lied to, and you believed that no one can kick out that finisher, but it has happened. You know, it's just those things like when you're saying like this is your job, the commentary. So you need to have your fucking facts. Don't be saying statements that aren't fucking true. Because one thing you got to realize about wrestling fans, I think, well, mainly, well, actually, especially in NXT, because the NXT are pretty much kind of your indie fans as well. Those are the most fucking passionate fans you will get, and they know their shit. And as soon as you fuck up, they are on it. Do you know what I mean? So to do something like that on NXT, like, you fucked up. That, to me, I was a bit like, it just spoiled it a little bit more. But it was things like that, like, that kind of irritated. To me, like, this is the big thing, like, and it's kind of going off what I just said there, is my big pet hate. There was no NXT crowd. You cannot beat you can, but like you cannot beat the passion of an NXT crowd during, I say, a match like this. Do you know what I mean? Like this match would be
why I enjoyed their earlier matches.
I will, like the other match from like 2019 when Cole retained his belt against Balor, kind of thing. But when you've got that NXT fucking passion of a crowd in that arena, especially where there's no champion, so you're like, who the fuck going to be like the champ of champs out of these two? And you had that with a decent crowd, that would have been phenomenal. I think to me that was a very fucking killer moment of this match, kind of thing. It's just there wasn't a crowd for it, and it deserved. It'd almost be like, for example, like this match deserved a crowd as much as when Drew McIntyre had his WrestleMania moment and won the belt for the first time, where he needed a crowd for that. It was like that. It was like that. That's how that's the only way I can explain it. Like that's how much this match needed the crowd.
And there has been moments in 2020 where like, you know, things have happened where like you're going, oh man, there should have been a crowd fucking for that, like, you know, like go back to like when Brody Lee showed up in AEW or fucking Matt Hardy or Sting. There were 3 moments that like you crowd would have popped fucking massive for Drew McIntyre's title win, things like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of them lost it. And even for themselves as wrestlers, because you know yourself, man. I mean, I fucking used to do it, man. I mean, I never did it on that scale, but you know, you feed off that shit, man. You fucking get a massive pop, like from fucking people watching what you're doing, or just fucking, you know, reacting to things that you're winning matches and all this kind of crack, and they get a massive pop from that live crowd, because we've said it. When you put someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin in a ring, and he's cutting a promo or whatever else, and there's no crowd there, he is a fucking legend and has been doing that fucking thing, that shtick for years, and he's fucking struggled. Like you put someone like The Rock in there that is a mic man, he would struggle because there's not to feed off of, you know. And it's been weird this year, or like in 2020, to watch like wrestling in general. It's just been a weird year. Like
for me, negatives, Rich, I'm very much in the same boat as you. Without a crowd, it's fucking terrible. Like, I want to mention the ad thing as well, because this is how the NXT crowd now will have watched this match. So I think it very much means a lot. The ads took the flow out of the match for me. Beth Phoenix, why the fuck was she there? The commentary wasn't great anyway, but every so often she's popping in, roaring into the fucking microphone, nearly cracked, you know, breaking sound. Oh, there was just, and the banging on the wall. Like I said, I found it hard to concentrate watching the two guys. Now, Balor and Cole, I can't really find any faults with them. They're fucking brilliant wrestlers. The match was excellent.
Yeah.
But the presentation, the audio, I just couldn't focus on it. So it knocked a lot of points off for me. Now, I get it's not their fault. But again, this is in the middle of a pandemic. This is how the match would have been presented when it was live. It should have been on a pay-per-view, in my opinion, to avoid at least some of that. And I like to mention AEW, they've done way better without crowds. They've put wrestlers in proper places and stuff like that. I know they've been an open-air stadium, it's different. But yeah, wrestling in a pandemic sucks.
Yeah.
It's negative.
It hasn't been a great year for watching wrestling. Like, I mean, I don't mean that as like there's been some great moments. I've enjoyed a lot of things that I've seen, but yeah, it's the no audience thing really sucks you out of it. Like, because these are two guys, man. This is Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. Do you know, these are two guys that are fucking, like I've always said, they're workhorse wrestlers, man. They remind me of like the early days of like the Intercontinental Championship, like Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, Steamboat. That's the kind of guys these are. These aren't your juiced up fucking Hulk Hogan's or whatever else. These are fucking workhorse fucking athletes, man, and they are, and they put on fantastic matches. But my point I was saying a while was, after seeing this match twice and looking over it again, I've seen them in better matches with each other and against other people. And that's just my opinion, but then again, you have to factor in what Brian was saying. The adverts did drain the flow out of it for me. They annoyed me, and that shouldn't have happened, because I should be focused on the match, not like annoyed at these fucking adverts that keep popping up on the screen. The match, that doesn't take away from the match, though. Do you know what I mean? The adverts fucking ruined my head because they played them way too much. The match itself was a stellar enough match. But yeah, I just found there was a couple of, like as Rich said, there was a couple of botches and camera angle switches where things did like fucking, you could clearly see Balor didn't land those fucking things. And there was kind of moments as well where like the one that ruined my brain, and I'm normally a big fan of this spot, but it ruined my brain in this match, was when Balor puts him against the barrier and goes back and does that like long run up and double drop kick in. But you saw Cole was trying to, and it kind of comes down to what Rich was saying about camera angles. You could kind of see him fixing himself into position, and by the time Balor did the run and got like super kicked out of it, which I did like, but the lead up into it, I was kind of going like, Jesus, this is taking forever. Like this, I can see him like literally getting in position to fucking be kicked. Obviously, it was to shimmy out to get the super kick, but yeah, and the commentary as well. Beth Phoenix, I'm Beth Phoenix is. I mean, like as I said, she's not terrible, but I've never been a fan of her on commentary. I just haven't. And Wade Barrett is a breath of fresh air at times. Sometimes he does grate me. Because I think what happened with the commentary, Rich, as well, is after Mark Ranello, after he walked away from the company, they were kind of left with like, oh, we need to bring someone else in, and that's when Wade Barrett kind of stepped in. So they're I don't know. There was a few, as I said, there was a few things in it. I just found this match, and I'm going to say, even though I loved last week's match and the whole lot, I did find this match went a bit too long. Yeah. I genuinely thought it was too long. I thought this match could have been a belter if it was 20 minutes. Like, because as I said, it was weird. I was watching this match and I was like, Jesus Christ, the first 8 to 10 minutes of this match is mirror imaging what I watched last week. You know, I know what it is. I know why it's been done. They're feeding each other out. They're trying to fucking get the upper hand, because that's why I loved the last match, and I do love that, because I love the mat wrestling style, and I didn't hate that. I actually enjoyed the first 10 minutes of this because they weren't like pussyfooting around. They were locking in each other. I mean, they were fucking really strong, tight holds they were laying into each other. I just found there was a lot of fucking around in the middle of it. Things went on too long. Kind of my explanation, the way it's like long-winded right now, you know. And the reason I'm going on so long, and I'll explain why, is because I know Rich hates when I do that, and because it's Rich's last night, I said I'd try and go on as long as I could possibly go on for on my explanation.
It's a special Tubs.
So I just really did that to fuck with you, Rich. I'm sorry.
Let's move on to positives.
Remember, I was saying about I work for Blockbuster, and I learned how to switch off.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Blockbuster, by the way.
Yeah. Guess what I just did there? I switched off Tubs.
That's all good, man, because you know you're allowed to do it. It's your last night on the show, so it's all good.
For the time being, it's my last.
But last night for a while, you know. It's not goodbye, it's see you down the road. That's what it is, isn't it?
Oh, cringe! Get out of my fucking face.
Okay. I believe it's my show tonight, Bryce, so you shut the fuck up.
And I was telling him to shut up.
Get out of my place.
I happen to think Rich liked that, so shut it, Brian.
Fine. Get out of here.
I would actually laugh if you fucking dropped that and it broke and being like, this mean Tubbs being like, so.
So, Rich, do we have to finish the show again this week?
I know, like, what are we going to do? Well, I don't know what next week's match, because I'm not going to be in it, so awkward.
Fuck, I gotta wing it.
Highlights, I'll just fucking go for it. We'll go around full circle.
Yeah.
Going back to when the botch you talked about, that fucking super kick that Balor got outside, man, fucking, yeah. Oh, these are like fucking
saved the spot.
It's like that was a fucking loud fucking like super kick. I was like, that is fucking cool. This is something, and I fucking checked the time on it. It was 16 minutes. You know what? It was 16 minutes before the first finisher was done.
Yeah.
You know, that's rare these days. You know, sometimes you get something like, at least attempting a finisher, but like it was about 16 minutes in before fucking Cole went for a finisher, and I was like, I appreciate that. Like, you've been wrestling for fucking 16 minutes, and you found an upper hand to try and finish it. Do you know what I mean? Where and I think he only went for the finish. His like, not including the figure 4 leg lock as a finisher, because that's not usually his usual finisher. I know it's in his kind of finisher moveset, but like he only went for like I think his finisher like twice, kind of thing. So like that was quite nice. And I think Balor, he only went for it once, did he? Well,
he went for Panama Sunrise once, and Balor caught him and kind of weirdly reversed it and kind of ran him into the turnbuckle.
Right. But it just like, to me, it didn't feel like finishers were getting constantly fucking thrown. For usually these type of kind of wrestlers that know this kind of era of wrestlers, you know how like the fucking finishers are constantly in your face, and you're just a bit like, man, like you know, it'd almost be like kind of
you get fatigued from looking at them. Right?
You know, it's just say it was like Undertaker, like how many choke slams would you fucking get in one go, and like a power slam, you know, like fucking last right now, you know, you get too much of it. Not saying that he does it, but I was using him for example. But I felt like to me like it wasn't rammed down my fucking throat here's our fucking finishers. Balor's finish to win the match, I thought that was pretty fucking stellar. Like, I thought, like, you know what I mean, like, to put it on the turnbuckle and do that, I thought that was fucking cool. Like, that's a move. That's how you finish someone. You know, like, I thought that was good. I thought, like, just the pace of the boys kind of was quite good. I thought the selling aspect on both of them, Balor fucking having to climb up turnbuckle, and like, you know, there is like if he's selling, he's got a fucked leg. Then how the fuck does he get to the top turnbuckle? And you see him fucking kind of like pull himself up onto, you know, you see him struggling. I just thought that was fucking
up onto one leg, yeah.
Yeah, like, I thought that was kind of good. Like, I think quite a lot of wrestlers forget that and just fucking mount that turnbuckle. Just like everything was fine. Do the jump, then be like, oh, my leg. But like, Balor fucking just kind of kept with it and being like, he really sold that. So I think like those kind of moments, I think that they were like my fucking like those are my highlight moments. Like, but I just think that finisher, I just thought was really fucking cool. Just off the top turnbuckle.
God damn you stole mine. I had them written down or not. Yeah, my best moments, 2 super kicks by Adam Cole and the way they were sold. The one on the outside that you mentioned and the one in the ring as well were fucking brilliant. The noise, the pure clatter off fucking his face was savage. Again, the finisher was excellent. I wasn't expecting it at all because, like, as I told you, I don't know what's going on here in this storyline or whatever. So on to my next point, it was a surprise winner for me because I thought Adam Cole won this match. So obviously I was like, holy shit, Balor won, because I'd actually not checked the time for a while after this because the last 5 minutes were excellent. I thought they were really engaging and there was no ads in the last 5 minutes. But like, once it really got going, it was a class match and the finisher was excellent, and also the selling was top fucking notch. Tubbs?
I liked a few things in it. I loved the entrances in the setups of how they were done. You're trying to, like, because there's no crowd there, like, even when Adam Cole was doing the boom thing like that, but it was up and it was directly the screen was above him with the Undisputed Era sign. I just thought it was a nice little design, the way they designed the 2 entrances. But the moves and the factors of the match was, as I said, the selling was top notch for me. I thought these 2 guys were bang on. The super kick outside and inside really were high points for me. There's a couple of moments as well, like the what does I call it, the Shining Wizard. I don't know what Adam called is the last shot.
It depends who's coming. He calls it the last shot, but it is I mean, in the commentary,
it's a Shining Wizard. Like
in the commentary, once again, they called it the Shining Wizard. It is the last shot.
Yeah. So I really dug that, and I dug the basement dropkick from Balor. But it's just the way he does it, man. Just the way he takes off and runs. The speed he goes at those ropes and comes back, man, is just fucking unbelievable. But my best moment of the match is mirroring my 2 wrestling wives. And it was the 1916 from the top rope. Yeah, it was just such a fucking cool finish, man. It genuinely was, like, and I even appreciated that he even before he jumped, he hooked the arm. So he actually hooked it to get him up. Like, I was like, that's really fucking cool. Like, he didn't get him, obviously, he didn't extend him up like you would stand him, but it's a top rope and he fucking put him away with it. And I was like, that's cool. And as I said, and it's another thing to, like, as Rich was saying about overusing finishers, you know, they kicked out of the coup de grace, and then the Shining Wizard was kicked out of, and then the Panama Sunset was blocked. So they just went for his alternate finisher from the top rope to finish it. I just thought it was a very, very nice fucking way to end the match. And yeah, I was fucking delighted because I remember seeing that, and I remember it was just shortly after Karrion Kross got injured.
Final scores, boys.
Yeah, go on, Rich. It's your last time on the show for a while.
8.5.
Tubbs?
Right. I'm going to go with a 7.
I'm going to go with a 5. It could have been a way better match, but the presentation ruined it for me. That's all I'm going to say, really. So yeah.
I thought it happened to you. I thought one of you would get pissed off with it. At least one of you. And I thought it was going to be you. I just thought, like, you're going to be fucking hating this so much. And just about remember though, some of the reversals in this fucking match were solid.
They were. I mean, the match in general was a solid match. There was just a lot of elements that kind of like took me out of it in places, you know. But I mean, like even the figure fours, man, even the figure four sequences and everything. Like, and you know, sometimes you can see a figure four sequence and it can be, you know, it's basic, it's boring, whatever. You know they're going to turn it around, but they really fucking locked them in. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same even like with the mat wrestling for the first 8-10 minutes of the match. That was all solid mat wrestling. Like I love that shit, man. I'm a fan of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? When it's done right, and these guys did it right. These guys locked it in. They didn't. It wasn't like just pussyfooting around. They really did fucking go for it. Like, and there was, like, Joe was one point fucking Balor had fucking Cole's head arched back and all, man. Off of a fucking was it a fucking headlock takedown? Do you know what I mean? It was really fucking nice. Like these guys are hard hitters. You saw it in the Finn Balor Kyle O'Reilly match, man, where they like literally concussed and broke each other's jaws from just going at it. You know, there's no holdback with these guys, and you could see it. There was moments in this where I was going shit, especially like as I said, I mentioned it my favorite bits, but there was that elbow that Balor hit Cole with coming off the rope. I was like, I cringed. Like I was like, fuck me, he's after taking his head off. Like it just looked horrible.
It was one of those matches where everything, basically with the kitchen sink was thrown at each other. You know what I mean? Like everything was put into this match kind of thing. And that's the thing. See, like I actually think, right, if you had to put this two guys, right, and it could be the exact same production, the way you watch it, right, and we put it into the main roster, this match would be a lot of shit because wrestlers don't care as, in my opinion, I don't think wrestlers care as much now because they see what's happening to everyone when you join Raw and SmackDown to what all the energy that they'll put into NXT. Do you know what I mean? Like the wrestler's passion in NXT is a whole other fucking level. Like, because you see every wrestler kind of go up to the main roster and they're like, yeah, fucking I'm up here now. And then you give it like a month or two and they're like, so like, I think like this worked because it was an NXT match.
Yeah, of course.
But you can see it, with Balor at the moment in NXT. Like he's completely reinvented himself. Like he hasn't brought the demon out once. He's gone back to the Prince gimmick.
He doesn't want to bring it back.
But he's completely after altering his character and everything and how he does things and how he's just his characters. And I think he's after becoming a lot better on the mic and everything since he went back to NXT. Because it seems like he's been allowed to just, you know, in when he went to the main roster, you know yourself, you know, that fucking, and look, Brian knows this. I love the demon character. I fucking dig it. I think it's cool. But you know yourself on the main roster, Vince is all about t-shirts and merchandise. And that demon character sold the shit out of it. So they protected the shit out of that character to make it sell more. But as you said, Balor wanted to go back and just kind of be him, be fucking Finn Balor. So I think Finn is loving being back in NXT, even though you hear people online going, "Oh man, it's such a demotion." I was like, "No, it's fucking not."
Yeah, but that's the difference in the office having confidence in you as well. That you're going to go out, you can go out and try things and know you're not going to be fucking ruined backstage if you fuck up or whatever, like, you know.
And
if I'm being honest, man, as well.
Going into like 2021 in a new year in NXT, because they've pulled up like guys like Keith Lee and all these, and you see Keith Lee, like they've ruined Keith Lee already. You know, on the main roster, like, you know, fucking all like the Retribution guys, you know, like fucking Mia Yim and all them, like they've fucking destroyed them. They're worthless now because of how they were presented on the main roster. Like I think guys like Cesaro and fucking Shinsuke and all them, man, go back to fucking NXT. Sami Zayn, go back, like
Nakamura doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to make money.
He just wants the money.
See, some of them are comfortable.
Respect to do.
Who's that, Sami?
No, fucking Nakamura.
He just wants to make money.
This was a to him it was a bucket list. You know, I've done all these. I just need to go do fucking the big one now. Done it.
Comfortable.
You know what I mean? Get that fucking easy money in and go and surf. Fuck it. Why not?
Right on, boys. That's episode 35. And next week, we're going to do a suggestion from Brandon Munden. It's from Lucha Underground. It's Rey Mysterio versus Pentagon Jr.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's for me. That's for me and Tubbs.
Deadly. I did not know what next week's one was. I knew we had 4 matches, but I didn't know what rotation we were doing.
I just picked one a while ago.
I'm happy with that.
Anyone that only tunes in for Rich, I'm sorry, you'll have to unsubscribe for a while. but
yeah, Rich, 35 weeks, man. You lasted more than we probably thought you would.
Not gonna lie, I'm shocked that lasted this long.
Is that what you usually say?
It was a good run, man. 35 weeks.
When you turn up here like stoned, high, like drunk, hungover to fuck, you think the bride's eventually gonna get like fucking fed up your shit. I also remember the day was the RVD match, and I think Tubbs was just talking, and I just remember like staring at the screen, being like,
"Yeah, but you were in character. You were being RVD."
Yeah, you were being RVD on an RVD show.
He's like, I don't need a wild card. I need someone who's going to take this serious.
So yeah, I just want to say thanks for coming on the show so often every week and taking a couple of hours out of your time and being a legend about it as well. And be back soon, you crazy motherfucker. Or don't, whatever. Fuck you.
You go find yourself, all right? You do you and get that smile back, Richard.
I'm going to go drink.
Well, whatever. Jesus comes in a bottle, you know. And we'll see you next week, folks. Bye. Bye, Rich. Fuck you, Rich.